Okay, hi guys, it's Matt here from Mini War Footage. Just going to do a bit of a hobby and coffee. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning your time over in New Zealand, isn't it?
Certainly is.
I'm going to be probably drinking water because it's 9:30 here or whatever. So I don't want to be drinking too much coffee.
So I've got a cup of tea. If I have another coffee, I'll be back.
Hobby and tea. Anyway, guys, you may recognise the gentleman across, sitting across from me on the screen today. But Chris, if you could introduce who you are and what you do.
My name is Chris, and I am the Ash and Stone channel.
Cool.
I am the Ash and Stone channel.
You are the dwarves, orcs. Oh no, sorry.
I'm everything.
Yeah, he's everything. He's all the voices you hear.
Yeah. All those terrible voices.
Oh no, it's good. I keep on trying to think how can I introduce that sort of stuff into my videos. So I've come up with some ideas, and as we were talking earlier, I bought some kits so I can do some bits and pieces. I don't know. We'll see what will happen.
Exciting stuff.
But yeah, so Ash and Stone, guys, there's going to be a link at the bottom. If you haven't seen Ash and Stone, what are you doing? No, seriously, it's a brilliant channel. I came to it when I came to Oathmark. I found you doing some really cool little how-to videos, which was really nice. You're building bits and pieces and painting up your armies, and then you started your narrative play stuff. So that's awesome. So kind of what drove you to do that? Is it just you were bored in lockdown, or?
Yeah, that's probably one of the big things. I mean, the world was locked down, and I was sitting at home doing nothing. So I thought, why not do some solo gaming, and why not show people that it can be done and how easy it is to do. So yeah, it was there to inspire people to get into the game, because of course Oathmark was introduced during the lockdowns, so nobody could go anywhere and play.
Yeah.
So it seemed like the ideal solution.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, it certainly inspired me along. You were definitely one of the ones I was when I first got into this. And look at me now. Doing that YouTube,
those dizzying heights.
Yes, I know. I've got 121 subscribers now. So thanks all for subscribing. Now, and Brett's
actually, thanks guys. It's
absolutely. And Brett's just started putting some stuff out from Saudi, who's my co-host on here. So he's going to be doing some stuff out there. But yeah, no, it's you and War Corgi actually, and actually Scruffy Crow all inspired me to get on with it and do something, because I like talking. I don't know if anybody knows that, but I do. It's brilliant. See, look, he's the guest, and I'm doing the talking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, War Corgi was definitely an inspiration for me too.
Who was, sorry? War Corgi.
Yeah. Watching a couple of his battle reports, and I was like, I could definitely give that a go.
Yeah. Michael's. I think for me, Michael set the bar definitely. If I can get something set up as battle reports as good as he does, I'll be quite happy actually. So that's my goal. That's my next goal. So I've got my room set up now. I've got terrain. I've got boards. So I just need to get my opponents to paint their figures. That's the get your figures painted.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, you know who you are. Get on with it. So yeah, no. So we're just going to have a general chat, guys. So I was just talking to Chris beforehand, and we were just sort of having a bit of a chit chat about stuff. And so we're going to do a classic war game podcast stroke YouTube conversation to start the whole thing off. Chris, how did you start wargaming?
Many moons ago. I started with Warhammer Fantasy.
Okay.
6th edition. It would have been.
So it's about 20 years ago?
Probably 2002. So yeah, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep. Started there. Fairly quickly moved on to the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game. Enjoyed that for many years before branching out into various other skirmish games more than anything.
Yeah. So what?
Oathmark's probably the first rank and flank I've really got into since giving up Warhammer.
So what brought you into was it shiny toys in a shop, or was it your mates, or?
It was through mates.
How was it? Okay.
Yeah, been introduced through mates.
At school? I don't know how old you are, so.
Yeah, it was.
There you go. It was at school. You're not as old as I am, so I know that. All right, so it was local school, so you just got some friends, and they all. I mean, because for me it was D&D. Well, actually, it was plastic toy soldiers, but then moving on to various other bits and pieces. But yeah, so all right. So what armies did you start off with when you were doing 6th edition? Then?
My first army was High Elves.
High Elves. I thought you were going to say dwarves. I really did.
No, it wasn't. No, the Warhammer dwarves never really clicked with me.
No, I've got some here somewhere. Somewhere. So yeah, quite yeah, round.
They're very round. Yeah.
Yes. Very round indeed. So yeah, no, I was looking. I got some thing, a bag of stuff I bought on eBay, and I was comparing and seeing if I could fit them in with my look, and I was like, no. So,
they're quite different.
Yeah. High Elves. So yeah, no, I mean, I like the High Elves. If I was going to go back in time and start collecting, I would have done High Elves. I just like the look of them. They all are very. They're very Lord of the Rings. Let's be honest, pre-film and all that sort of stuff. That's how I always imagined a High Elf looking after reading Lord of the Rings, basically.
And I was sold on them because I was told they could deflect arrows with their swords, but by the time 6th edition came around and I started, no, that wasn't happening.
All right, okay.
Lied to me.
There was a rule that they could cut arrows out the sky.
Yeah, there was something like that. But not when I started playing.
Oh dear, they lied.
Lies. It's all lies.
Yes, they're just trying to get you in.
Yeah.
Come in.
Yeah, and once I was in, it was too late. There was no going back.
Yeah, that's very true. So have you still got your armies from back then?
I've got some of it. I don't know where a lot went.
Mum's loft, Dad's loft.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sure where a lot of it's gone.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've got. I mean, most of my stuff from when I was a teenager, I sold. Certainly the GW stuff. I had Dark Future, Man of War, Space Hulk. I had all that sort of stuff. All 1st edition stuff. That's probably worth an absolute cash-in packet now. So
yeah,
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I found beer at girls, not necessarily in that order. So my wargaming went out the window for a few years, to be honest. So I don't know. I think that's probably that's the story part amongst a lot of us, I would suspect. Playing with toys, playing with girls and beer, or boys, or whatever your fancy is. I don't want to be discriminating. Whatever you fancy.
It's different priorities.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't care who, what, or when you do it. But doing that, and then getting to that. I think, well, I thought computer games killed off wargaming. I genuinely did. That was in my 20s, I think. I sort of reached out in late 20s and found out they were still going. So, because I just assumed that everybody was doing what I was doing, which was playing strategy games on a computer. So,
why not both?
Yeah. So then I reached out to a local club, and they were like, "Yeah, we still." I was like, "Oh." So sort of took 10 years after giving up, I sort of jumped back into it. So.
Yeah, there's something about the tactile nature of it, actually having the figures there in front of you it's really good. It's great.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can beat it. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of people pick this hobby for lots of different reasons. And I like playing the game. I genuinely do. I like building terrain. The figure painting. I don't know. I like doing it, but I'm not. I don't break myself, so I think
it can be a chore.
Yeah,
definitely can be a chore. But
So,
having a group of painted soldiers there is just fantastic.
oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've, I got into it and I was just like, yep, get this done. So I'm just chipping away at mine now. So I've got my original elf army and I'm just adding little bits to that. So, but I've got all sorts of army saga. That's all painted up. I've got my 15mm World War II Germans early late sort of stuff because I came from a historical background. So did you really do any historical stuff? Or
I dabbled a little bit, mainly with 28mm World War II,
okay,
and of course Dark Age and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well into that, but not really into the 15mm or anything like that.
No, that's fair enough. What did you do? Bolt action or something?
No, it was before Bolt Action.
Oh wow.
It was quite a while ago that I started World War II. Rules of Engagement, I think, was one we did for a while.
All right. Don't know that one.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a look at it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of 6mm wargaming. I know that's not something that everybody did, but certainly when I was in my 30s, I lived in a very small, very old house. So we had limited space. So it made it practical for me to have 6mm stuff. So because I had basically a cupboard I could get my stuff into. And I wasn't allowed it out.
There's something really great about that scale, though, about the vastness of the armies. It's
yeah,
very cool.
Yeah. That's why I think that's I've played loads of games sort of like that. We played a few quite a while ago now. Actually, it's probably 15+ years ago, maybe. We did a set of rules. We used to play modern 6mm. So we did 1980 stuff, and we did a whole Soviet division versus a West German and British brigade. So 1-to-1.
yeah, that's cool.
yeah. That was over a whole weekend as well. So it was like I made a 24 by 12 table for it. So it was all. So yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. I love doing big stuff. Yeah, I like doing big stuff. So I kind of I like doing organising people to play. So I did the Oathwire campaign day because I like people sort of interacting even though I'm not playing. So I mean, what you're doing mostly solo play now. So I mean, is that just because New Zealand? I mean, I don't know anything about New Zealand wargame scene. So is there a lot of wargamers down there? Or it's just you in the.
I live in the middle of nowhere and can't travel very far at the moment. So for me, it's kind of the ideal solution.
Yeah.
I can't get to a club or anything at the moment.
All right. So is there a good scene in New Zealand? Is it? I mean, I know there's, I don't know. That's how bad I am. I don't know what the population of New Zealand is, but so I'm assuming it's smaller than UK.
4.5 million, I think.
Okay, so about Wales then. So
sure.
Yeah, about Wales. I don't know. I just make that up as well. But all right. So I mean, I suppose, is there a big scene there, or is it?
There's a reasonable scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got tournaments going on all over up and down the country.
Cool.
It's been a while since I've done any of that, but no, it's plenty going around.
Is it? I suppose. I mean, the distance-wise, it's a bit like the UK. You can get to a club easier than, because I know in the States they struggle quite a lot because there's obviously you might have 3 war gamers in a small town, and the next town's where the next club is 2-hour drive. Nobody's doing 2-hour drives in the UK to go to a war games club, apart from me yesterday. But that's a different story.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's just that better scale, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's lots of little clubs around in the towns and
so mainly in the big cities, in the larger cities than the small towns. But yeah.
All right.
But I mean, the big cities generally aren't that far away anyway.
Cool. So yeah, because didn't Flames of War people come. They're New Zealanders, aren't they?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Which is why I think the New Zealand Army list was like unbeatable at some point. I never played it. Well, it's not true. I have played it. I did not enjoy it. A controversial moment, but it was not for me.
No, I gave it a go a couple of times, but never really got into it.
Yeah, it was just massively popular. Yeah,
it is.
Really catapulted 15 mil World War II back into the scene. So and I know they're doing like the Team Yankee stuff, and they do a Vietnam, and well done to them.
They're doing really well.
Yeah, kudos. It's really good to see companies doing well. I'm not knocking it. It's just not a game I'm going to play because, my club's playing it big time, so they don't so much more. And I see them all using Flames of War stuff, and they're all grabbing new sets of rules. And but all of the new rules say you could use it on this base, and it's like, well, that's 50. Funny enough, that's Flames of War scale. Which is, people have obviously decided that they didn't like Flames of War, or they can do something better than Flames of War, and let's use the base sizes.
Yeah.
Because I've got 10 grand's worth of World War II 15 mil stuff out there.
Yeah, and it's a great thing because you get that innovation in the rules and the hobby.
Yeah.
And everyone's better off for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I've heard it said many a time. I mean, it's just at the moment, I don't know. It's just the amount of rules out there, the amount of games that are coming out. Kickstarter's just changed the whole scene for starters. I mean, I don't know who's got the space and/or money to go and buy everything that comes out on Kickstarter. I know there's people out there insane, spending vast sums on it, but I buy on Kickstarter very few, far between. There's certainly games because I'm a kind of, am I going to like it? So I've my days of buying rules just to go and see if I like them, and then are gone.
Because you can get some great deals on Kickstarter, but you don't really know what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really good stuff on there. I mean, my last one was Burrows and Badgers. I don't know if you've seen that.
Heard of them.
Yeah. So it's like there's a Michael Lovejoy and his wife. And I'm sorry if they ever see this. I've forgotten your wife's name, Michael. Oathsworn. Oathsworn Miniatures up in Northumberland. I think, is it Northumberland? Yes, it is Northumberland because I went up there. So they're up there, or very near to Northumberland border, and they do like these 28 mil anamorphic animals, and they are all hand sculpted. They are all cast in metal, and they all are amazing. They're beautiful models to paint. Some of the really big ones are done in resin.
Oh, yeah.
So the scale of them are big. So I've got a bulldog. So just to scale, that's 28. No, you can't see that. So there's a dwarf, and the bulldog will be about that big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
They're like 40 mil or something.
They're 20. They're sort of their own scale. They're just a scale.
Oh, yeah.
If you buy the mice, they're about, and the shrews and stuff, they're probably a little bit bigger than a dwarf. So you get you get a whole sort of line of small, medium, large, and extra large animals. It's a really cool game actually. You can play. There's solo rules for it as well. He brought some out.
Ideal. There's actually a lot of games coming out with solo rules.
Yeah, I think lockdown changed a lot, didn't it?
Yeah.
Have you? Which ones have you picked up? I don't really do a lot of solo gaming, so I know you do. Which ones have you picked up?
Well, this is a bit of news for the channel, I guess, but I started playing some one-page rules games.
Okay.
Recently, so we can expect some of those to be featured shortly.
Okay, I've seen them advertised. I'm not really engaged with it. So what's that?
The rules are free, so
are they actually free? Are they? All right. Well, there's a start.
Yeah. The basic rules are absolutely free.
And are they actually one page?
Well, the basic rules are one double-sided page. Yes.
Okay. Cool. and then you can get optional extras.
And then yeah, you join the Patreon and you can get the full rules, which include extra scenarios.
Okay. What do they do?
Options, that sort of thing.
What sort of rule do they cover?
This has turned into a bit of an advert. They
we'll take free.
They do skirmishing. They do fantasy skirmish, fantasy ranks, and like a middle ground warband sort of size.
Okay.
And then they do spaceships, and they do like sci-fi as well. So yeah, there's a whole range, sort of under the same basic set of rules.
Oh right, okay. So you got like a core set of rules.
This is and then they expand out from there.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, so it's a bit like Saga has done, isn't it? You've got the core rules, and then you get your expansion books, which give you your army. So if you want to do Dark Age, it's got the Dark Age one. If you want to do Magic, it's got that one.
Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing, I'd say.
Okay.
I've only re-engaged with Dark Age one, so I can't say too.
But yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'll have to have a look actually. So I'll have a look.
Well, it's free, so you got nothing to lose.
Exactly. Yeah, I can. We can go online, pick them to pick. No, I won't do that. All right. Yeah. No. I mean, I'm lucky. I've literally got a friend that lives 5-minute walk from me. He's a regular gamer of mine, and one that lives about 2-minute drive from me, or a 20-minute walk. So actually, I'm quite lucky in that sense that if I wanted to game and they're free, we can walk to each other's houses.
Yeah, ideally set up.
Yeah. And then I got my club, which is 10-minute drive.
Nice.
And then I got the gaming shop that's up the road, which is a 15-minute walk. If I wanted to go up there and do stuff, and then you got Games Workshop. I don't really go to Games Workshop, but there's a Games Workshop here, so it's like, yeah,
you got everything.
we have actually. We're blessed as a gaming. There's 2 clubs. There's a board game club in Swindon. So yeah, if you're a war gamer, come to Swindon. Are you looking for something?
Yeah.
Well,
my nearest place is probably an hour away.
Oh right, wow.
At a minimum.
Yeah. Well, we got Firestorm Games, if anybody's ever heard of that. There's a company from Wales. They've got a big place in Cardiff. They're good. Yes, the staff are nice. So I go in there and randomly buy stuff that I don't need.
As we all do.
Yeah. No.
That's part of the hobby.
Yeah. I look around this room and I'm going, oh yeah, look, there's some miniatures up there. Oh, they're all painted. I've got some paintings on, and I look over there, and all the ones in front of me right now are glued. So
to start.
Yeah, I'm going to do.
There's a cat.
We're going to do a YouTube thing on these dwarves. So
which ones are those?
They're the Conqueror ones. It's the same sculptor does the Ragnarok.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So a friend of mine from Wargames Club, actually commissioned these. Very Dark Age looking. So they do warriors, spear, Danax, hammers. They do quite bow. So they do sort of like the good side of the dwarfs, and then Ragnarok does the evil side. So they do the dark ones, and they've got their new Kickstarter on that I nearly actually purchased this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got a lot of stuff coming out on Kickstarter recently.
Yeah.
It's doing really well.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, no, I need them because I was looking at the Undead Vikings.
Yep.
And I was thinking, because I haven't got an undead army yet, so I thought I needed one.
Everyone needs one.
Yeah, I know. So I held back, and I didn't because I got so much stuff. I was genuinely sitting there going, but I got a lot to do. So
I'm really liking the Oathmark stuff for the undead, actually.
Yeah.
Like their skeletons and revenants are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I saw your what you painted up actually on your, and they're here on your hero side. But, yeah, I like that you got them on your hero side. So because it's the good thing about Oathmark.
I did, yes.
Yeah, you can have a mixed and do it any way you like. So,
yeah.
Very, very Lord of the Rings to have the oath breakers. So, but yeah, how did it? They I've heard some people say that they're not keen on them, but I personally I do. I like the metals because I get all the metals. I'm going to buy the light dwarves and buy the metals as well because I really like all their figures, and I think the champions are good as well. So hopefully I'll get them whenever they're released. Very shortly, in fact.
November, isn't it?
Next week.
Next week, I think. Yeah. It's all right. They'll take 4 weeks to turn up here.
Do they?
It used to be 2 weeks, but then COVID hit and everything's drawn out to 4 now.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Everybody's
a bit of a bugger, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping to see them. I've got quite a big dwarf army now, so they're going to be mixed up with some. I was basing some, doing some goblins on saber-toothed tigers. So I've built them up, some printed ones. Do you use a lot of print? Do you print your own? I know it's a big subject out there.
Well, I've just got a resin printer.
Yeah, me too.
So learning the ropes with that, and finding out what's out there that suits, and what I like the look of, and yeah, we'll go from there. I do a lot of terrain and that sort of thing on the filament printer.
Oh right, okay. So
I do various things there.
Yeah, I've got some filament printed terrain somewhere. I find it still a bit too liney. If that makes sense. So
yeah,
I mean it's got its place, but I'm still sticking with the MDF at the moment, personally. I think with the MDF, all right. Some people say you've got that 3D effect. You can stick things onto it and give it that feeling with MDF.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can enhance anything really.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's where I am with it. I've just got my printer, so I've bought some into some various bits and pieces. I'll see if I can use for Oathmark or Frostgrave or.
Is that a resin one or a filament one?
No, yeah, resin. Yeah, I bought
resin. Yeah. You can't beat the resin for figures.
No, I got it at a ridiculous price on eBay actually. They do return. The company. It's I can't Photonet, and the company actually sells their returns.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, but made sure that's working.
Yep.
So I bought it for 100 quid instead of 300. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they say
ideal.
Get it. Yeah, and they send on eBay. Get it in there. Test a print. If it's not working, let us know. We'll send you another. And you send that one back, and we'll get it. So, not a problem. Mine looked like it was. I don't know what was wrong with it in the first place, but it looks brand new out of the box. So I was like, bargain. So
sweet.
Just got to get the hang of it now. So got the software. Yeah, I mean everybody's doing it, aren't they? So just I come up to the club sometimes and it's like, I printed all this off, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the trouble is you can print mountains of miniatures, but then you got to paint them all.
Still got to paint them. Yeah.
And then therein lies the trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. I went up to see. I went and play James in September, I think it was. I went up to see him from Stratford Crow, and he said he's not buying any more figures. He said I'm gone on a not buying anything else. But he had a pile of printed stuff off us. Kind of defeats the object, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
You're spending less money, but you still got a mountain. But I think that's kind of why I'm not doing it, because it's going to start. I'll be like, ooh, shiny.
Oh yeah, if you start going looking for files, it's easy to fall down the rabbit hole. That's for sure.
Yeah. But I think, it does. It's good. I can't see it. It's you know, it's going to hurt some companies, but it's going to enhance the game. I printed off some plinths because nobody did plinths. But I was, you know, for statues for Frostgrave. I mean, maybe there is somebody out there, but I couldn't see anything. So
yeah,
and people found it on Thingiverse for free. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, so I paid pennies for it. All right, I bought £100 printer and a resin and stuff like that. But you know, in the long term, it's gonna work out. I still don't think the figures are up to scratch compared with proper sculpted stuff. With the best sculpted stuff out there, metal out there. I'm a metal, and people keep saying I am a metal fan. So you know, I like people say, oh, you can't do anything with it. Well, but
I love the heft of the metal ones.
Yes, I think personally, I think paint goes down better on them as well. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it up. Or I'm just rubbish.
I've noticed, but I haven't paid any attention. So
maybe I'm just a poor painter and there's less detail on the metal ones. I don't know. No, I don't know. That's how I am. Now, I converted one of the Oathmark guys. Took his bits and pieces off and put a properly scaled dwarf spear into it. I don't know if you've ever noticed with all the spears that they do for dwarfs. Have a look at the scale of the spear to the dwarf, which seems the spear looks right, but how can that be right? Because the dwarf is already short, so why would they take a short spear? Because they're not good. Because when they come up against the bloke with the long spear, they're not going to be. They're going to be.
They've already got short arms, so they're already short. Yep.
And I was like, so how's that happening? They can't. They ain't got the reach. You know what I mean? I was like, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you take a short? Center of gravity? No, you take a bigger spear. So that's what I've done.
Yeah.
So all my dwarves have now got big spears.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
and they look nice in scale with the heads too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The spear heads, not the dwarf heads.
Yeah. These are from Northstar actually. They do them. I don't know if they do them, but they sell them, and you can buy 100 for
nothing. Yeah,
but not a lot.
Yeah.
So and it's so I've used that. That's can be a. I was just sitting there going, this is really annoying me. Why are you giving everybody short spears? I'm looking at my elf and thinking he's going to be able to reach him before well before he gets there, so he's going to just be up with his anyway. I just need to stop putting.
They've got to be short because they're supposed to be fighting in tunnels.
Yeah.
So you got to have a short one so you can fit it around in the tunnel.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. You're still going to get clobbered, aren't you? Because the goblins, the Northstar goblins are, their spears are bigger. The goblins are going to get you before. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're going to have trouble in those tight tunnels.
That's true. That's true, actually. Yeah. Well, if we had Skaven, see, that's But anyway, we can't talk about them. No, you can.
Red men.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the IP thing. I'm sure I'll be safe. I think we can say. I think we can say words. I don't know, but yeah. No, I think that's my problem is I always end up forcing historical and real life into my fantasy. It's like.
I'm guilty of that. Yeah, it's nice to have that grounded level though of reality behind everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I can see behind you. You've got some armor going on there. All
sorts of shite.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say that, but you got armor and.
That's right, I will.
Some shields, and so you must be. Was that bow?
Yep, there's a bow there.
Is it a long bow?
Yep.
All right. Wow.
Not the traditional English one, unfortunately, but.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Not made of yew. It's made of New Zealand yew. Made of New Zealand yew, so it's just sheep.
Sheep gut.
Sorry, crap joke. So what do you actually do? Do you do reenactment?
No, No, I just like the stuff. I do a little bit of archery, but mostly I just think the stuff's cool.
Oh,
So.
excellent. All right. You have a very forgiving wife, is all I can say.
That's right. I made the armor myself, so it's nice and cheap. I'm not just spend too much money on that. Just time.
Oh wow. Well, you had a forge and everything.
You can do most of that cold.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, check out Greenleaf Workshop on YouTube, and he'll show you how to make a whole lot of stuff.
All right. Okay. Wow. So how long did that take you?
Oh, ages.
Oh, right. Okay.
It doesn't take too long to actually form the metal. It was just bits of time here and there.
Okay. All right.
But it doesn't take long. I knocked the second arm up in probably a quarter of the time it took for the first one.
Oh, wow.
Once I knew what I was doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you make the shield and the sword as well?
The shield, yes. The sword's just a cheap one. But.
Okay. Is that a Roman shield or a Byzantine shield or?
It's a kite shield.
Oh, it's a kite shield. Yeah.
Let's grab it. Why not? Oh. There you go.
Oh, cool. What did you make that with?
This is plywood with the rawhide on the outside.
Cool.
And forged up boss.
Yeah, wow.
Keep me busy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, personally, I never thought dressing up in clothes and playing at soldiers was sensible. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't mean that, guys. Obviously, I play with toy soldiers. No, I always fancied, if I was going to do it, I always fancied doing full armor, but it's hideously expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the trouble.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I grew up in Norfolk. There's a castle there called Castle Rising. We used to go to all the time, and they used to always have tournaments, up there. So we'd go and watch them go and actually belt the living whatsits out of each other, absolutely smash each other to bits, and then they'd be in the car park at the end of the day, taking the armor off, and they'd be taking their mail off, and you'd see welts. Yeah. And I was like, that really hurts.
Yeah.
I've always, but I'm too old for that sort of thing nowadays. Anyway, that's what I'm going with. Too unfit, too everything.
Yeah. It's a young man's game.
Yeah. Well, have you seen they do like whole world championships of it now, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it. I see it sort of on YouTube. Absolutely bonkers. These kind of guys having massive brawls, 1-on-1, 2-on-2,
and then the groups them just beating the absolute crap out of each other.
And then you got those Russians,
big old axes, and
and then you got the Russians that do it in a ring. Oh, they're bonkers. Yeah. Smashing shields into their faces until they submit, and I'm like, okay, anger issues much.
Be a bit of fun though.
Yeah, I'd love to go and watch it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to be the bloke underneath getting the shield smashed into my face, headgear or not. I have to say.
Maybe once,
yeah.
But
that hurts. Can we stop now, please? Oh dear! So we're just rabbit holing this, guys. This is mostly me waffling.
Yeah.
Now, Chris,
who knows where we're going to go?
Yeah, but what I wanted to talk about was your latest videos, and you built some new scenery for your story. Fantastic, love. It's kinds of Mines of Moria, esque feeling. So, what made you decide to do that? Just wanted to do it, which is brilliant.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to a dwarf hall, wasn't I? So
yes,
I needed some terrain for it. And so, yeah, I drew up a modular system that I could 3D print, so I could make as much of it as I needed. And printed, painted, and then I can assemble it in all sorts of ways to suit the scenarios.
Yeah, and you used the Lord of the Rings rules for the first one.
Yes.
I've not played them before, so it's quite interesting to watch from my point of view. So it's quite skirmish.
Yeah, no, I like them.
Yeah.
They do struggle once you get to that size or larger, but as a general base set of rules, I quite like them.
So they're more of a skirmish set because
Yeah.
Because don't they do Lord of the Rings? They do a tactical level and a big battle level or something.
I think they did. I don't know if they still do that or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They stopped doing it for a while.
Fair
I
enough.
don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with it. That rule book's 10, 15 years old.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it came out when it came out. All right. So yeah, I mean, so with the modular thing that you did, because I keep seeing it and thinking I should do that. I mean, for me, it just looks fragile. I know me, and that's why I say it looks fragile. So how hard wearing? You know, I know you've shown did a video on how you're doing it. Is it quite hard wearing? Would you have to be gentle?
I mean, it seems to be fairly hard wearing. I mean, if you want to break it, you'll break it.
Okay.
But I mean, it seems to suit me all right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can knock the pieces together with a little mallet or whatever if you have to, and knock them apart if they're a little bit tight.
All right.
So you get a bit of paint on some of the mating surfaces, but other than that, everything slides together nicely. You can move around big sections, and they don't fall apart. So,
do you store it up on top of each other? I take it. Or?
At the moment, it's all just piled on one of the mats out in the garage.
All right, fair.
It's just out of the way at the moment.
The reason I ask is because I could be a bit of a klutz. So if something can be broken, sometimes I'm pretty good at breaking it. So that's what makes me think I'm going to be like going putting it together and then. But you're
I
hardening.
shouldn't think so. I think I've got some bits here. I mean, you've got those little pins that just it slots together, and I mean you slot it together.
Oh wow!
And then it stays locked. So
actually that's pretty solid. Yeah, you're gonna have to give it a good. Yeah, no, you're gonna.
I mean,
yeah,
it breaks, but it's a bit of effort.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot of effort right there. Okay, I know. Yeah, but I was really when I saw it, I was like, what's he doing? It's new. But no, it's really impressive. I liked it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it gave the feeling of a dwarf horde, which is what I was after.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked. I like the fact that they didn't cruise through and just chop everybody up. That was really good. It was really tense to the end. I was like, is he gonna do it? It's good. No.
Yeah. The forges were a bit tough.
Yeah. But no, it's really good. So yeah, guys, if you haven't watched it, go and have a look at it. It's really good. But yeah, so what's your plans for the future for your channel? Have you got any thoughts what you're going to be doing, or have you got something in your head? Or
I've got some ideas. I've got in the current solo campaign, I've got one episode left, I think.
All right, okay. Wow.
So I've played that game, and I now need to edit it all together.
All right. Okay.
And that'll complete that chapter, as it were.
All right. Awesome.
But there's various threads that have still come off that could be expanded in the future.
All right.
And I've got another small campaign lined up at the moment, as a compilation with somebody else, which I'm excited to get onto and get that out on the table and show everyone.
All right. So you're doing it in conjunction with somebody.
Well, it's
sponsored.
There's that. So I've been contacted by the guys at One Page Rules who have supplied me with rules and figures.
So my earlier comment has already been done.
so I'll be doing some showcase games with their rules and figures.
Awesome.
As a short campaign there, which I'm really looking forward to.
Oh mate, I'm really stoked for you. I really am. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm a real YouTuber.
Yeah. Look, man, I'm on FaceTube.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever came to my club, at least 2 of us would know who you are. So,
yes, so famous.
But if you come to an oath mark competition, you know you're going to know. Everybody's going to know you. At least
There might
20,
be 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. Or if we can get up to 20, you may know 10. So that'd be awesome. No, I'm genuinely really stoked for you, mate. Your channel is a good. I think is we were talking about it earlier. It's a bar, and I am going to blow your trumpet. It is a bar to be aimed
not
for.
Too hard.
No. It's definitely an aim to be. It's a bar to be aimed for, which is there's lots of content out there. I've watched. I don't watch much normal TV nowadays because it's mostly dross.
Who does? Who does?
Yeah. So I like me watching me YouTubies, and there's a lot of dross out there, and your stuff is really good. And I count my stuff; it's not that good either. So, and I'm okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm okay with that. I am okay with that.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I kept on. If anybody is ever thinking about it, I kept on putting it off because I couldn't afford to do this, and I couldn't afford to do that piece of kitman, and I couldn't afford to do that. And there is a cost to this YouTubing malarkey. At the end of the day, you can see your lights behind you. Yep. I had to go and buy some of them because my first game I did under daylight bulbs and a massive lamp that I had a daylight bulb in it. It just didn't cut the mustard, so I went and invested in that. I went and invested in some other bits. Today I bought a new thing for recording. It's got a better sound on it. That's set me back 178 quid. That's a lot of. I'm not a rich man or I'm not a poor man, but it's an expense, isn't it?
Yeah. You can start off not too bad.
Exactly.
I started off with the old phone and in the sunroom where there's natural light. That was right to start with, but you've got to keep improving.
And that's it. And it comes. Anybody that thinks they're going to be some sort of YouTube millionaire, no, you're not. Have a look at the guys that are. There are guys out there that make a living out of this in the wargaming world. And I suspect they work their absolute tushes off to do that. I don't get what I've seen on there. They're making a lot of content and doing things like editing and all that sort of stuff. I didn't anticipate that actually taking longer than recording.
The editing takes a while.
And then you got to get used to it as well. And then
it's all a learning game. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
The latest videos I think are a huge step up from my first ones, so it's a learning process.
Absolutely. So it's brilliant. If you don't think you want to do it, don't. That's fine. I'm not telling anybody to go out.
It is a lot of work, so you have
there is a lot of work. And there's very little reward. I have to.
Yeah.
Well, is there? I don't know. I get a lot of reward out of it because I have a laugh. I get to talk to people from all over the place. I've got lots of friends that I've never met, in a world that's, 20 years ago, I'd never have spoken to you ever. You know what I mean? Not because you're a New Zealander, but because you live in.
There's a little bit to do with that.
There's a little bit of that. You've got a funny accent.
We're not going to write that off.
No. I mean, if we're playing the All Blacks, I'm not going to be talking to you that day. Probably because we're going to lose. No, finest rugby team in the world, and I say that with bitter bile in my mouth. I don't. Not as bad as the Australians, mate. Anyway.
Nobody's as bad as the Australians.
Nobody. Jeez. It's just given me an access to a whole different world. I went down to Ilford Wargames Club yesterday. To go and pop in to see somebody I met at the UK campaign day that I did. And I was saying to you, I walked in and people knew who I was from my Oath Wire. They were all playing Oath Mark, by the way. So that's why they knew who I was from Oath Wire. they didn't just go, "Hi, that's that bloke," but they just said, "Oh, hi, Matt." They really knew who I was. It was very bizarre. And I'm not saying that was rewarding. There is a little bit of ego in there.
Yeah, don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, ooh, 5 blokes knew me.
Oh, those lofty heights.
But yeah, I get pinged. I get pinged and asked questions, and I get from guys in the community. I really appreciate that, actually. And it's guys like you as well. You know, you're doing lots for the gaming community. I think, you know, you pulled. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one that's pulled people into this game. I think it's really important, you know, to have this. Why I'm talking to. Not, I enjoy. We've spoken on many times, and I enjoy talking to you. But I think we pull that stuff into the community, and and keep it going. Because otherwise, we.
Well,
won't
it's
have
the only
it.
way it's gonna grow and get bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, the community's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, the interactions I've had have been absolutely great. Yeah, and I mean the comments on the videos and everything, it's all brilliant.
Yeah. No, and you do get lots of comments. Yeah, and it's just again, I'm going to say, I'm aiming to get to your standards, and then I'll be happy. So, but it's going to take some time. I know.
It's all right. It's all very humbling.
Yes. But yeah, so,
there's a lot of people that want to listen to me waffle. It's very humbling.
Yeah, and it is as well. Yeah, do things like this. All right, this may only get 50 people watching it, but they may not all enjoy it. So
well,
I when I get on Oathwire, everybody says I'm like the smooth jazz man. So I don't know. That's who I am. So I don't know. Have you had anybody comment on your presenting style? I don't know.
I don't think I've had anything on my presenting style, no. But people seem to be enjoying the content and resonating with the story. So no, it's really good.
Awesome, that's fantastic. I think we're gonna leave it there. I've run out of things to say, and that's unusual. Unless you've got anything to say, This is me interviewing you, so it seems to be But if you've got anything else to say,
no, I don't think so. Just like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff.
Do that. Do him.
That's what YouTubers are supposed to do.
Yes, I'm going to put some links down here somewhere, and on this video. And guys, go and subscribe to Ashton Stone if you haven't seen him. What have you been doing? Is the first question. But if you haven't, go and have a look at it. I'm really keyed up now to know that you're going to be doing that. I'm going to have to go and have a look at one-page rules, go and see what's going on there, because I've heard of it, not looked at it, but I can't be swayed. I've got so much invested in Oathmark. Whether I go off and play in that way is just, I'll leave that to you. I think.
Well, I think the good thing is that they've got skirmish rules and warband rules as well, which is what I'm sort of looking at. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look and see what happens. I think. They got warband ones, have they?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I will go and have a look at them then, because I'm not sure that I want to buy Saga Magic, because it's an £80 investment plus dice just for the rules. I think it's a lot of money for something I don't know if I like or not.
Yeah.
So I'll have.
You'd be able to browse at the store though, surely.
Yeah. I will have to. I'm sure somebody's got them I can play with at some point.
Absolutely.
But I'm a bit of an impulse guy, so I'll be going, buy it all.
Yep.
And I'll go, why did I buy all this stuff for? But yeah, no, I'll have a look at them. And then when you do something wrong in the rules, I can point it out on your channel.
Yeah.
That's good.
I make plenty of mistakes. I make so many mistakes. It's ridiculous.
I love your little things at the bottom. Yeah, this was wrong.
Yeah, I go through the editing process and I'm like, oh man, what were you thinking?
There's things I keep forgetting. So it's we were playing. I was playing against the Undead, and he rolled the revive thing, the Necromancer, and he rolled his dice. He said, "I got 3 come back to life." I was like, "How'd you got that?" I said, that doesn't do that. He said, no, it's a maximum of 3. I said, well, you've only got, and I read the spell again. I was like, and my usual opponent who plays with Undead, Mick, I will tell you, has only been getting 1 guy back, and he could be getting 3 at a time. Because
now I might have to look at those rules.
So the spell is.
I'm not sure I'm doing it right.
Yeah, it's for each pass of the spell you get somebody back up to the maximum of 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
right, I better look at those rules.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that don't sound right. I've played this loads. Oh yeah. Yep. He's right.
That's got to be the worst part about putting games up on YouTube is that magnifying glass on how bad at the rules I actually am.
Yeah. I'm surprised nobody's commented on my how-to battle that I introduced the guy to the Oathmark and Wargaming, and I'm firing my ballista at his wolvers as they're running up at me, and I didn't ever once include a champion dice in it. Nobody said anything, and I'm just like, I was watching it, and I was like, I didn't do that.
At least that's a disadvantage to you. The problem is when all of the errors are in your favour.
But that's fine. I was just like, how did I forget that? But when you're trying to do a video and do this and do that, but
there's a lot going on.
There is. But yeah, guys, appreciate it. If you've watched this, subscribe to me, subscribe to Brett, subscribe to Chris. I don't know who Clive is, but subscribe to Clive if you find him. And
probably more importantly, if you enjoy the content, share it.
Yes,
because that's what's going to help us grow.
Absolutely, guys. Share it out there.
If you know someone you think could enjoy it, please let them know. And
if you've got a comment and it's and you think we need to do something different, let us know. I mean, I've seen a couple of you've given me a couple of bits and pieces about the sound, which is why I went and I've invested in some better sound, because I was like, oh, it's okay, and then you were like, oh, and I was like, yeah, you know what, it's pretty bad, and you told me how to do clever things with it, but I haven't got clever software that does that, so I can't do that. So I invested in the sound. So lend us a comment, put something in there, negative or positive. Don't be rude, because I'll just remove it.
No, you can be rude if you want. I'm not worried, but
we'll just remove
it all helps. It all helps.
Yeah. But try not to be rude then. Be rude to Chris, not me.
But if you're rude, I'm probably not going to take you seriously
anyway. Exactly. But if we're tiny little people in the cogs of wargaming.
Absolutely.
But if you want to see more of me and Chris talking, or Chris listening to me, let us know. If you want to see some other YouTube superstars out there for the wargaming world, let us know. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's Matt from Mini Wargaming.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, and good night, good evening, and good morning.
See you next time.
Indeed.